All right, welcome again. This time around, let's cover everything that you would need to complete the milestone and, of course, to submit your work for week one. All right, you should already know, of course, how to get to your Savannah page, your portal, or your intranet. At some point, it was called intranet, but now it's called Savannah. And for some reason, when you do come to projects, this particular page that I am on right now, um, it's the modules are not exactly arranged properly. So, but this is the one we are concerned about, anyways. So I'll just go ahead and click on milestone, week one's milestone. Now, if you have any question concerning all of these modules, I've addressed that in the previous video. Please go ahead and watch the previous video. It lasts about 20 to 30 minutes, but very insightful. It will walk you through every single module here and every single quiz that you would find on there. All right, so for the milestones, that's why we are here. Let's get started. Now, there are a few things you're going to need. You're going to need all of this to complete your milestone and to submit successfully. Your AI toolkit, AI generated image and prompt, reflection on the use of AI, and all of this and all of that, the peaks, your passion, interest, forces, and strength, and your skill map baseline. You're going to need all of this to complete the milestone. So at some point during all of these modules, there were prompts that you would have seen already that would take you to all of these um, activities. And so the milestone just collects all of them and submits them as one document instead of those multiple activities, right? One of those activities will be the AI generated image and prompt. I covered this in the previous video, how to use the runway ML to generate your image. I explained in detail how to get there, how to generate the image, how to download and save what image you have, and how to also copy the prompt. And I mentioned that download the image and also save the prompt. You can save in your sticky note, notepad, whatever. Just save that prompt that you use to generate that image. Okay, so please take note of that. All right, so now let's make the first thing we're going to do is make a copy of the rubrics. So I'm going to click here. That will open an external link. And this is supposed to be the rubric. Now, rubrics are supposed to be guides, right, for whoever it is that would review your work. Right, when the person is reviewing your work, the person has to use those guides, right? And you will see now. I'm going to make a copy. Please take note of this process for every document that we are going to soon find, right, on this milestone. You will have to go through the same process, right? And that process is click on make a copy. That will make a copy of the document, and then you're going to click on file, wait for it to be done loading. Once it's done loading, you will find an option there that says move. Please, not move to trash, move. And then you click on this move. And once you've clicked on the move, it's going to show you all of the folders on your Google Drive. It's going to show you all of the folders on your Google Drive. Earlier, also in the modules that we've done this week and also from last week, we were asked to create a particular folder for all of our work during the entire duration of this course. So you can go to drive.google.com. Drive.google.com will take you to the default drive, the first ever Gmail that you used on that particular system. So please confirm that it's your Gmail account that's logged in. And you notice that for me, I have several accounts, right? I have two accounts. So confirm several rather. So confirm that you are actually on the right account when you go to drive.google.com. If that's not the right account, just change by simply tapping on there, or you may want to totally sign out and then sign or add account, sign back in. All right, so now that you are here, you're going to click on new and you're going to click on new folder, And if you have not done this already, you need to make a new folder. So click on make a new folder, and that folder actually has a particular nomenclature that you should use, right? It has a particular nomenclature. I'm going to show it to you in a bit now. So just remember that that's what you are going to type in here, and then all you have to do is to click on create. So the name of that folder should be um, your name, right? Your name underscore ALX underscore ACE underscore folder, right? For me, my name is Solomon, and that's why you see I have there Solomon underscore ALX underscore ACE underscore folder. So when you type that in correctly, click on create, it should create that folder for you automatically. So I'll just go ahead and open my folder because there's a lot that I'm going to be picking. There's a lot, all of these documents, I'm going to be bringing it out from the folder. So I'll just go ahead and open it. Now, if you're done creating that folder, when you did click on move, you should find that folder pop up here. Right? If it doesn't pop up, it may just need a second or two to sync. You can start that process all over again and click on move. This time around, when it's done loading, you will definitely find that folder that you have created. It's going to be your name, ALX underscore ACE, and then folder. So open that folder, double click, and then click on move. So if I click on move now, it's going to move this copy into that folder that I have. But already I have it inside. So this is what it just created. So a copy of this. I had this already. Right? So it's just created a copy there. So for me, I'm going to delete this. But for you, please do not delete. Okay, just before I delete, there's also one more thing that's very important, right, that you will do to all of these documents. Remember, the first thing I said you do to all of the documents is make a copy. The second is to move to that ALX folder. And then the third, which is the last, is to share, right? You click on share, and then you click on this access, right? Restricted access means if the person is not included on this document, just like I'm trying to include this particular email that I have. If the person is not included, so I've included that person. If the person is not included, so these two people are the only people who will be able to have access to this. And we don't want that because you don't know who the peer that will review your work will be. So you don't want that, right? So I'm going to remove this access. So what you want to do is to click on that drop down and then click on anyone with the link. Anyone with the link. You can see access updated, right? Anyone with the link. Those are the three things that you need to do to all of these documents. You'll come back to copy in a bit, and I'll show you how to go about that. So now that I'm done showing you all of that with this sample document, I'm just going to move to trash. Okay. So sorry, I needed to be sure. Um, okay, so I don't need that document again. I'm just gonna close here and then move to trash. I lost sight of what was going on there for a bit. Okay, all right. So now that we are done with that rubric, so I'm going to open my rubric here, right? Assuming I'm the one who is doing it. So I have my rubric at inside of this tab, right? And already, just like I said, it provides a guide for whoever it is that will review your work. So it's asking the first person, check to make sure that the person's milestone document follows this, is named correctly, follows this pattern. ACE milestone 01 for week 1, date, month here. And the next one is check to make sure that it's a PDF. And then, so if you've done these two correct, the person gives you 1 and 1. The score ranges from 0.1 all the way to 1. So depending on how well you've done all of this, you're going to be scored based on that. Now, the next thing the milestone is asking you, asking the reviewer to check is the AI toolkit. Did the learner include a link to the AI worksheet? If you did include a link, it gives you 1 or she gives you 1. And is it visible? Can you view it? If it's viewable, and what does that mean when it says viewable? Did you click on share and did you give access to anyone with the link? Right? Access to anyone with the link. Now you notice that for this particular milestone for me, right, I did not click on access with anyone, because this was not required in any way, shape, or form, and that's why this remains. But the other document that we will soon see, um, I will show you how that I gave access to anyone with the link. So anyone with the link will be able to access it. And so that's what this rubric just serves as a guide. So what does it mean when it's asking you that did the learners, add a link to the AI toolkit? Now, what's the AI toolkit? So let's come back here and download our milestone worksheet. The milestone worksheet is what contains all of these things, right? All of these things that the rubric, specifies, whether it's the reflection of the use of AI, target industry, everything is contained on that milestone, right? Some are contained in another document called personal statement, but the milestone, once I open this milestone, you will see how all of these, how they all come together. Now, remember the three things I said you need to do. Of course, make a copy. Once that document opens up, you need to then move to your Drive folder, right? And then click on share, right? And then click on share. So I'm not going to make a copy because I already have a copy, right? So I'm just going to close this and assume that I've made a copy and I've moved it to my folder. And so for me, this is the copy that I am using. So this is my milestone worksheets, right? And so you see that already they are also reminding you that use that rubric, because that rubric is a guide for you, right? For me, I still have the rubric here, so I can check in line to be sure that everything is good. Okay, so the first one says AI toolkit, right? That's what the milestone is requiring, the AI toolkit. And so it says, did the learner include a link to the AI toolkit worksheet? So how do I find that worksheet now? I can just simply click on this link and then click on the pane that pops up, that preview pane that pops up, and then that opens it in a new tab. Again, same process applies. Make a copy, move to your Google Drive ACE folder, and then lastly share, right? Click on share and then click on everyone or anyone with this link, right? So for me, I have a copy, again, just like I've been saying. So I'm going to open mine, right? The AI toolkit. So this is the document. So I'm going to have to open mine. So I'm not going to need to make another copy, right? Please bear in mind that when you do open this milestone worksheet, everything will be empty, right? It's filled for me because I've completed the milestone, I've submitted, and I've also reviewed. So don't expect to find anything. For you, if this is the first time you're going through it, it should be empty, right? So this is my AI toolkit. I'm just going to bring it over to this side. And so um, my AI toolkit. Now, this task, so you notice that there are different sheets inside that AI toolkit. We've not used a lot of this, right? The only one we have used is this sheet that is literally called AI toolkit, right? Is this sheet literally called AI toolkit, right? The only one given was ChatGPT, but for me, since I've used several AI tools already, Runway ML is the one everyone should have used because that's what was used in one of the modules, right? I've used Coolbot, Bing. These are just a few that I've specified here. I've used a lot more AI toolkits, and maybe not too often. I think I'd love to at this point change this to weekly. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Frequency of use daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. I think that makes more sense instead of what I had before. That's a good thing to always review your work, go back to your work. Okay, so this is my AI toolkit, and it's a simple document that just asks you what AI you are equipped with now. Everyone is equipped with this. This is the link to it. To access the text to image, what's the name? And then, of course, this is what category does it belong to, generative AI, right? And then you have your description, the function, right? And how frequently you use it, right? Once you are done with this, remember that you need to click on share, anyone with the link. So you're going to click on, if you have done this already, just come here and click on copy link. And then maybe one thing I should also mention is remember that don't give the viewer, commenter, or editor rights. Only give the viewer, whoever is going to review your work, viewer rights, right? You don't need any of this. As a matter of fact, they did one against this. Just give viewer right. Viewing is all they need to do. They don't need to comment or edit your work. So you that link that you copy, you just come over here and paste it. Now, in case you are wondering why I have two things, right? I have, sorry, let me just click on copy link. In case you are wondering why I have two things, so if I click on enter, it becomes blue. In case you're wondering why I have, those two, I have the two because, so when I did try this, it says here, tab to replace with this. So I did a tab and then replace it with that, but I wasn't sure whether or not when I export as a PDF. I think this since I edited the name, I wasn't sure whether or not when I export as a PDF it will be clickable. So this is just like a backup. So if it's not clickable, of course, the whoever is reviewing can just copy the link and paste, and then they'll be fine. But I did find out when I was reviewing another person's work, the person had it this way that it was clickable. I'm using the Adobe PDF viewer or reader. But if you have another application, maybe it may not be clickable, but it is clickable because of the application that I used, right? So please, I have that. Bear that in mind. And so with that, I am done with the first AI toolkit um, section of my milestone worksheet. So I'll go to the next part. Now, I did notice that a whole lot of people did not have this section, right? They didn't have this. As a matter of fact, the rubric here doesn't specify this section that I highlighted. Now, I only added this section because if you look at this document, this um, guide that I read earlier, it is stated there. That's the only reason why I added it. So it says your AI toolkit. Your AI toolkit is what we just finished with, the AI toolkit. And then there is the next one, which is your AI generated image and prompts, right? All of these are what should be added on, forgive that call. All of these are what should be added on your milestone document, and that's why I added it to my milestone um, document here, right? And because it comes before the reflection on the use of AI, because it comes before the reflection on the use of AI, see, reflection on the use of AI, because it comes, that's why I just have to fix it there. I don't think you'll be penalized in any way, shape, or form if you don't have this, because the rubric doesn't specify that. But I just thought to make my work tidy. Now, let's go to step two. Step two for us is this part here. Now, this part doesn't require any external document. You have to fill this part right here in your milestone sheet, right? Worksheet. You have to fill it, right? And you can fill this part, but there's a question there for you to answer. And you can choose to answer all of these three questions in one paragraph, but make sure that whatever paragraph you are writing addresses all of these questions. If you think that's too daunting to address, right, you can of course feel free to just like I've done here. Now I had to just take them one sentence at a time, addressing each one of the questions, right? That way was more for me, it was easy for me to wrap my head around it. So now we are up to step three. All right, so step three, prepare yourself, because now we need to create another document, right? Another document. I'm still going to leave. We're done with this for now. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it on there so that you can see at the end of the day how many documents we have opened. Um, all right, so step three, the target industry and role reflection, and of course, the peaks, which is your passion, interest, cost, and statement. Now, you can find this document by simply, of course, clicking on this link, your personal statement document, and then I'll just click on this. It's going to open it in a new tab. You remember the drill, right? 3 steps: make a copy, move to your folder, your Google Drive folder, and then lastly, share with anyone with the link. So because I have this personal statement document already in my Google folder, I'm just going to open it, and that part, yeah, this is it. So I'm just going to open it, and then I'll bring it here. So maybe I should bring this. Let me just line it up the way. So the first document was the rubric, and then we had a drive, and then the milestone, and then yeah. So this is the personal statement document. Now this also has a few things for us to cover. Now during the modules, right? During the modules, right? There were activities that would have taken you to the personal statement document where you would have been filling this alongside, right? It should have been a build up, but there's no worries. There's no worries, right? There's no worries. You can still do that now, right? Right? They are just like it says personal, right? Personal mission statements, right? And so the first thing is industry exploration, right? It's asking you, okay, what industry appeals to you? Consider factors like growth potential and all of this. And with just a few minutes of in-depth thinking, just think within yourself, you can of course arrive at this. If it helps to get more information or more clarity, you can use chat gpt. It's going to offer more clarity on some industries, potential for growth, innovations, and all of that, right? And I have all of those filled out, right? Role identification, right? For me, I have two roles that I know are appealing to me, and they align with my skills and my interest, right? And I've mentioned them right there. And so that's that's number one and number two under part one, right? Reflection on your target industry and role, right? There is another there's number three, one, two, three, and then there is part two, right? Part two is your picks. So one, two, three, I have filled all of this. Also here you would have to fill all of this. Now bear in mind that your rubric is going to so bear in mind that your rubric um is going to mark all of this, right? So don't skip anyone, right? So the AI toolkit that we just viewed, it was viewable. The person gives you 1 mark, right? So reflection of the use of AI. That's the part that I said you're going to answer on the milestone document, right? There are 3 questions that you have to answer. So that's 1, 2, 3, right? In what ways do you think AI will impact? So it's asking, did the learner, fill that part? Did he answer that part? And how well did he answer that part? And the person gives you 1. So now we're at target industry, right? So the personal statement worksheet, the person attach a link. Is the link viewable? 1 mark each, right? And then it goes from part one. Part one has 3 questions, and these are the 3 questions. And then it goes to part two. Part two is the picks, right? Picks has four sides or 4 boxes to it, and then you find that it has 4 also here that would be used. But I'm not going to rush. Let me just go back to that personal statement and walk through. So part two, which is the peaks. Now, please take notes that there is a what's the name here? There's a Q here. You must state at least 2. So please don't just state one passion and move to the next one. Please, at least 2. It could be more, right? But it says at least 2, right? And then for this part 3, right? We are not expected to run through part 3 yet, right? In nowhere in the module did they ask us to do this yet, and maybe that's why also the rubric doesn't grade that part 3. It only ends at part 2, which is the picks. So don't bother about that part 3 yet. In the coming week, I know that we will then still have to go back to that part 3 and complete it. So once you are done with part 1 and part 2, part 1 has those 3, what's the name, part 2, part 3, and then part 2 has the picks. You'd have to copy the link, right? Remember, click on share, personal statement, you click on share. Anyone with the link, you should have changed that by now. Click on copy the link, and then come back to your worksheet and then paste it. Again, I've explained, maybe I should also do this because I did a little bit of renaming on my work. Where is it now? Milestone. Maybe I should take out this and paste this and then do a tab. Right. The renaming that I did is just I removed the copy. Remember that when you click make a copy, it's going to have copy underscore personal mission statement. So I just deleted those copy and just made it. So that's the only thing that I'm changing here. And then lastly is the ACE skill tracker. You must have guessed already. I click on ACE skill tracker. It takes me to the document, right? And then I click on make a copy, move to my folder, and then share with anyone with the link. I have this already in my folder, so I'm just going to open it, and this is the ACE skills tracker. Now, this tracker is a personal tracker. Take time to fill it, right? But take note that you are only required to fill before ACE. That's column B and column F, right? You are not required to fill at the end of ACE or after 3 months, right? You are only, and be honest with yourself, right? There's no one going to mark you down or mark you up for this. This is just an honest review of where you currently are, right? And that's why it's a tracker, so that by the time you are done with the program, you can tell the difference. I can assume that for all of this quantitative reasoning, by the time I'm done with this program, I should have like a 5. So I'll just press 5, enter. It's going to color grade it automatically, so you don't need to tamper with the colors or any formatting, right? It's going to color grade, color corrects everything automatically. Just put in the number and then enter. And so that's all. You're going to fill that and this, and then that's all for this milestone document. Copy the link and then paste here as usual, right? And then now that you are done, you're just going to click on file, click on download, and click on PDF documents, right? Download PDF documents. Please take note that you have to change the name to match the format. Where is the rubric now? Remember that the format of that document should be ACE milestone 01, date, month, year, right? And that's why I have my what's the name as ACE milestone 01, date, month, and then year, right? So please make sure you follow that format, save as PDF, and then the last thing once you are done with that is to, of course, come to your milestone page, and of course now we need to submit, right? I'm just gonna go scroll down there, click on choose a file, and then submit. You can even drag from your folder and just place it here. It's going to load the document. Once it's done loading, please make sure to click on submit. Don't just leave it there, right? Click on submit and then click on done. It's a good practice to always click on done. I had explained in the previous videos. The moment you're clicked on done, it's going to ask you click on done, or to show that you are ready for someone to review your work. Click on that also, and now once that is loaded, you then immediately be ready to review another person's work. But for me, I've reviewed a peer's work, so of course there's nothing left, and I've also filled my captain's log, and that's why you don't see that red notification at the top. I believe that with all of this, you should be able to complete the milestone without any hassle. Remember that I have gone through all of these modules in the previous video, so please go back to the previous video, maybe give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, because I'll do this every week. I aim to do this by Thursday or latest Friday, so that it gives people enough time to go through the tutorial and follow suit, instead of this rush hour between today and tomorrow. Right, so please encourage me with a thumbs up, encourage me with a like. I'll be so glad if I can get that. And then once that's done, one thing I did notice was this popped up the moment I finished everything, right? So this is not graded in any way for you this week, right? So you notice I already have 100%, even though this is saying 0. So this is not great. It's just an heads up for next week. That's why you see week 2, right? It's an heads up, right? Just like it says here, let's build your muscles in preparation for milestone 2, right? So it's for next week. I'm still going to attempt it. Once I'm a bit done with today's other tasks that I have scheduled for today, I would go ahead and sort that document. I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.